Hello and welcome back to another stream. Welcome to Sunday's live stream, where we take a look at the past week of price action, and it's not looking too good, is it? it's not looking too good out there. That's definitely. I mean, look at this. Look at this watch list that we have. The live stream watch list. Blimey. Altcoins are taking the heat, aren't they? That's for sure. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream as well. Let's get the likes up. And we will obviously be covering the market crash more in depth tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. Where I have Justin on again, who came on last Monday, good friend of mine. So we'll be covering obviously a lot more of it tomorrow. But for those of you that haven't been here before, I do stream for a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours a day, Monday to Friday, and then we do an hour on a Sunday evening. Just look at the past week of price action, which has fell on a really troublesome evening, hasn't it? Hello, Math. How are you doing, mate? Great to see you. Thank you for joining. Didn't know you I do an hour on a Sunday night. It is looking terrible, isn't it? What a day. I mean, you can see it. XRP down 12, Metis 13, Doge 13. If we go over to memes, it's just an absolute bloodbath, isn't it? It is an absolute bloodbath over in the markets today. Memes really taking the heat. And it's not a fun time, that's for sure. It's not a fun time for Bitcoin but altcoins specifically, isn't it? I mean, memes aren't really that much down, much more than normal altcoins. I mean, look at normal altcoins, they're getting absolutely slapped. What are your feelings on the market? Let me know in the chat. And do make sure you drop a like. And if you are new, subscribe to the YouTube channel, or if you're watching on X, do drop me a follow, please. I would greatly appreciate it. Monday to Friday as well, I do typically have I do have my face cam on, but while we're only live for an hour on Sunday evenings, I'm not at my desk. I'm actually at the luxury of my couch doing this live stream for you fine people tonight. So as I always am on a Sunday. So do make sure that you pop in for the midweek live stream. Like I say, tomorrow will be nothing short of superb. But we are taking a lot of heat today. I mean, what has caused this? The markets don't like uncertainty, and unfortunately, Trump has caused mass uncertainty in the markets with the tariff and the trade war that's now unfolding. He's really rocked the markets, and unfortunately for us, I'm not going to lie. Basically, what's happened here is, so for those of you that maybe aren't sure exactly why we're dumping or what's happening, this selling that we've had here is pretty much obviously on the back of the markets being uncertain about what's going to happen. Basically, if Trump comes out tomorrow and says he's changed his mind on tariffs, we absolutely skyrocket. We might even see a 10% day on Bitcoin, which would translate heavily into alts. However, basically what's happening here is that because obviously traditional markets aren't open, obviously crypto is left wide open, isn't it, to to any sort of trade, because traditional markets aren't open yet, and obviously they only open tonight. This is basically the result of people selling into the fear. Now, unfortunately for us, futures for indices in the stock market are probably going to gap down pretty hard when it opens tonight. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. We could either be front running it, or I do suspect we maybe when the actuality of how big the gap is that opens to the downside on ES and NQ, we could really hit the floor harder as well. Hopefully, it's the calm before the Feb storm. Pure hopium now. It's not looking good, is it? It's not, I mean, we are still in the range. You know, we are still in the range. But if we go to say, you know, if we go to the 1 day chart, you know, we're still right within the range. You know, here's the range low. So, I mean, unfortunately, you know, I don't really know what's going to happen with altcoins. I'll be honest, I really don't know. We've got another 5% drop to go potentially on Bitcoin before we start hitting the range lows. Altcoins are just getting murdered, aren't they? And it's on the back of a lot of uncertainty. The only saving grace is potentially, are we just sweeping liquidity here and here? Now, this is, you know, if you want a hopium piece, Bitcoin does something in the next 5 hours where it puts in a swing failure pattern on these two lows here. So if you want a hopium piece for yourself, if you want some hopium, we need to sort of close the daily here or above and put a swing failure pattern in on this low and this low and have it nothing more than a liquidity sweep on these two long wicks. But that's the best case scenario, really. I'll be honest, I don't know what's going to happen. This week's going to be massive, obviously, for, you know, this tariff talk and, you know, the markets being uncertain about what's going to happen. And yeah, obviously, I do expect a real shake up in the stock market tomorrow, which again, you know, we're probably just going to get hit even harder. We've got Golly saying Link XRP chart looking good for Link. Please confirm. I wouldn't be looking. I wouldn't be focusing on a Link XRP chart at the best of times. However, certainly not now. Certainly not now. I would just be focusing on the actual Link chart. Oh, mate, what a match that was. Arsenal absolutely thumped them, didn't they? What a game that was. I very much enjoyed watching that then. Particularly Lewis Skelly. And then Wanyeri's goal at the end. Wow. Special player. It's going to be interesting going into the end of the season, that's for sure. Crypto Bro, how are you doing, mate? 86k soon. Looking to fill my bags in the 80s. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hesitant. I'm really hesitant if we go even into the 80s. Like, structurally, that's for me. That's not a good look. We're breaking out below this range. That would basically be pretty much breaking like, but below the previous range that we was in. I don't like the idea that we break below here. This could easily then become distribution, and then that could be game, set, and match, depending on what Trump's going to do. But yeah, I mean, speaking of Trump, look at this. This is shocking, this, isn't it? This is shocking. No other word for it apart from shocking. I mean, look at ETH. Completely, you know, had 2 good days and then it's straight back. If you want a good trade, if you're looking for a good trade out there, this could potentially be really good. Potentially, pretty much anywhere between like 2,700 to 2,800 on ETH for an SR test of this could be potentially good risk reward. Solana is pretty much at the moment just coming back, isn't it? It's filling in all that inefficiency it left behind. And yeah, looks like it's going to come back into this consolidation zone here. Everything looks like arse. Venelin, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Liquidation heat map looking like it could eat down to 96k or just below. Then lots of liquidity above. Skelly and Wanyeri, yeah, really good by the looks of it. Anthony says Dev. I'm no Dev. I'm hoping 96,500 and that's it. We are cooked. if we go into the 80s, I assume anyway, we will be cooked. We were talking about this on Friday. Blood on the streets today. ETH going to 2,800. Yeah, it's looking likely. I mean, this is still, this is still a possibility that we put in a swing failure pattern of these two lows. If we do go and look, I mean, I bet there's just absolute abundance of liquidity above. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, obviously the liquidity is above, but as you can see here, people keep trying to long the drop down and keep getting took out. If we go to the 3-day, yeah, look at the liquidity to the upside. Obviously, there is still some to the bottom because people keep trying to long it. But yeah, I mean, there is loads of liquidity to the upside, isn't there? Let's go to the 2-week chart. There's nothing really. I mean, on a 2-week time frame, we are sort of really scratching now, aren't we? Where to the upside there is loads, and obviously, we can see what we talked about on, I think it was on Friday's stream about that. Let's go to the 3-month chart. Yeah, as you can see here, if you go to the 3-month chart, what's interesting, once we do get to like 93k, there's basically a big void all the way down into the 80s. So if we do go that low, either we're going to run down there really quickly and go for this liquidity here, or we're going to start trying to get some of this up at the top. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's not mass. Like, as you can see here, there was massive liquidity, wasn't there? Up at 70k. We've not really built anything like that so far. So, yeah. Where do we go in the near future? It is really plausible that we do close this out as a swing failure pattern, which then actually wouldn't be awful. I don't think it would be awful to sweep these 2 wicks and swing failure pattern them. Obviously, it just depends on the reaction then for the follow through tomorrow. CME gaps at 102. I mean, that's a kind of a saving grace in it, I suppose. We might close CME gap at 70k. The cycle's over then. If we go down into the 70s, the cycle's over. I'll show you exactly what will happen on that. Do not be counting. You don't want that. Obviously, for buying opportunity, it sounds amazing, but you don't want that. I'll show you exactly what happens if we go there. This, obviously not. I don't know that for sure, but this is exactly what I think would happen if we go down there. You come down into here. So obviously, you'd break below there. You'd test that, reject. You'd then fill this very quickly. We'd come up to here. Obviously, we'd either then break below slightly and trap people and then reclaim fast, or just, straight bounce. And then we'd come up to here. This is obviously key resistance. We'd form the complacency bounce here, where people think, right, we're going back to all-time highs. And then it would roll over and come back into the range. You don't want a downward. You don't want a downwards of a retest of this. Otherwise, it's game, set, and match for this cycle, in my opinion. That would be your lower high. This would be the top. This would be complacency bounce, and then we would just tumble down for the next 2 years. So that's what we don't want. We do not want this. This would be super, super bearish if we broke below this range low now, I think. Unless we did a sweep like on this day, it would have to close back inside the same day. I don't want that to happen, though, of course. But yeah, be careful what you wish for. Really be careful of what you wish for. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think is going to happen? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think is going to happen? I know Maths had his input. James had his input. A few others. We haven't built anything like that because it's getting liquidated all the time. Not necessarily, no. because the last price action was just trading in a range. We was in a range the last time, so not necessarily. It would be great for making a lovely short for 3 years. Oh God, oh, I'm not prepared for the cycle top to be in unless this is distribution and we do get some sort of altcoin relief. But we need altcoin relief. I mean, let's go and have a look. I mean, this is shocking, isn't it, across the board, really? This is really bad. But yeah, let me know what you think in the chat. Trump tariffs going to impact stock markets tomorrow and should continue to negatively impact crypto. Yeah, more than likely, futures on the stock market will open severely negative tonight, I imagine. But this, potentially we've already dumped. We've sort of front run the dump, maybe. That's that's the other potential, is that we front run what futures are going to do tonight on ES and NQ. And like I said here about these, these two wicks, watch this for tonight. We might put in a swing failure pattern on both of these, and then from there, that might not actually be too bad. So just keep an eye out. Just keep an eye out on what might happen. But yeah, at the moment, not looking the best, but it can quickly, it can quickly reverse. It's just a shock. Markets don't like uncertainty, and unfortunately, Trump has caused what everyone thought was going to be the crypto president and everything is really shaking up the market. I mean, this is shocking. This is looking awful. Let's go and have a look at that other piece of dog shit. This is the worst. This is the worst. I have no idea. I mean, was that just the most obvious top signal? Maybe, I don't know. Was the launch of these two coins the most obvious top signal? I really don't know. What do you guys think? But here's what, keep an eye on these two lows here. I'm telling you, for the daily close, keep an eye on them. Because if we swing failure pattern them both, we could see a decent candle tomorrow, granted that obviously whatever happens with the stock market and whatever Trump comes out and says, but just keep an eye out on them. Dan says, I'm shitting my pants because alts only keep dumping and not getting any upside. Only Bitcoin gets some upside. Yeah, welcome to the game. I'm going full Bitcoin maxi. If I get a chance to dump my altcoins for anywhere near the targets that I had, which at the moment it's not looking too good, is it? But in terms of when I fully exit the market, I'm going full Bitcoin maxi next cycle. I'm not touching one single altcoin, because it's been not, apart from Solana and a few others, it's been nothing short of horrific, has it? Got liquidated on Sui. That's the thing. I mean, look, Bitcoin's only down 3.5%, and look at large caps. You got Say down 12, Link down 11, OP down 15. Obviously, memes are just getting crushed left, right, and center. It is. I mean, where's Bitcoin dominance? I suspect, yeah, that's getting a giga candle today, isn't it? Bitcoin dominance getting a giga candle. No surprise. So yeah, it is a rough ride at the moment. And obviously, I think tomorrow, by the time, so for those of you, maybe this is your first stream that you've been in, thank you very much for joining. Do make sure you drop a like and subscribe, or if you're watching on X, follow the X account. But Monday to Friday, I do a 2 to 3 hour live stream every single day. I go live at 12:30 UTC time, and tomorrow I have one of my good friends on again who will be looking at the market. So by the time we come to stream tomorrow, we should have a much clearer picture on exactly what's happened. Trump won't allow the markets to tank. Maybe he'll say something tomorrow about QE. To be honest, I don't think he really cares. He doesn't really care about the markets. He cares about the economy. And if he has to tank the markets to implement what he wants to, he will do. I mean, when you look at the stock market, it's due a correction anyway, and it's really it's actually quite scary, because is this the match that lights the fear to severely correct the stock market? It's really dangerous. What was this caused by exactly? The uncertainty around the Trump tariffs. Is Sailor buying tomorrow? I don't know, do I? I have no idea. We haven't got much retail liquidity in yet. It might never come. It might never come. We had a superb monthly close then. Yeah, I agree. There was nothing wrong with the monthly close at all. I mean, the thing is, the way you've got to look at it is, the low of the month has to be put in somewhere. So obviously none of us know how low this will go, but at some point the low of the month has to be put in. Now, if February is going to be bullish, is this just the low of the month being put in early? I don't know. Double top on Bitcoin dominance. I would focus on levels rather than chart patterns for Bitcoin dominance and everything at the moment. 1 of 12 liquidated, only small accounts though. That's good. At least you've still got 11 then, Dave. At least you've still got 11. But I do suspect, I mean, look, the way it's looking at the moment is I think we're going to get a squeeze, which should put a swing failure pattern on both these wicks for the daily close, if I'm right. If we go to the heat map, we could squeeze, if we can get, let's have a little refresh of this. There is scope for a real good squeeze if we can start building to the upside. It's just, yeah, I mean, that impending. Let's see how long we've got. How long have we got before markets open? We've got 2 hours and 50 minutes. So we've got just under 3 hours. I think I'm gonna go to bed. I don't think I'm gonna stay up for this. Wake up on my portfolio, will be halved. But yeah, do make sure you drop a like and subscribe, or do make sure you drop a follow if you're watching on X. It is very, very greatly appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. This is something where you've just got to watch what happens. But I mean, look at altcoins, look at memes. Again, absolutely a floor white with them, aren't they? Let's go and have a look at the biggest. So what is the biggest loser in the top 100? We've got Notcoin down a whopping 25%, XCN down 25%, Curve down 23%. What else got? That anime coin has been absolutely obliterated, and I think that went up to about 1 billion the day it was released. Ape coin again down massively, Filecoin down. Everything is just getting smashed. But there is a little bit of hopium, a little tiny bit. If you want some hopium, then this is it. Put a swing failure pattern on both these lows. That's pretty much about it until we go to the range lows. So yes, we're in dire need for a squeeze here. Which this is setting up, to be fair. Right, so say for instance, let's go to the monthly chart. When in doubt, zoom out. I don't know why this does this. Let me go to a different chart. There we go. So we had a superb monthly close. It was great. Now, but if you look, the top to the bottom was 23% for January. Now even the bottom to the top was basically 15%. Now the monthly, we do have to put the monthly low in at some point. Now obviously wherever it comes in, I don't know. But say for argument's sake, we won't say that's it, but say we go a bit lower. Let's just say we go and match this. Then we're only 6% away from the monthly open. And if we're going to expand this month, it's not really too far-fetched to say, you know, we're maybe just putting the monthly low in early. Obviously, it's not great, but we're just still in a range, aren't we? We're just still in a range. We go down to the 1 hour chart. As you can see, Stonksy caught it perfectly. So if you're wondering what this indicator is, it is Stonksy. Obviously, you are on the Stonksy YouTube channel watching this. So Stonksy is an all-in-one indicator. Obviously, these backgrounds are, so we have backgrounds for red and green. Obviously, red is short opportunities in the market, green is long. It also automatically plots SR lines for you on each time frame. And you do get full Discord access, and you will get access to the trading bot, which is being released hopefully this week. So yeah, you get loads with Stonksy. So you can find that link in the description. It's the second link. The automated trading bot will be a game changer. It'll be absolutely fantastic. But I mean, it's lining up, isn't it, for a squeeze here, potentially, which would really shake up them. I mean, it would give altcoins some much needed relief. If this is caused by uncertainty, it will pump like one hell once uncertainty disappears. Not really, no. Because the uncertainty is basically, so the uncertainty is around the Trump tariffs, and then obviously basically like pretty much a trade war, because it's gonna, you know, if it could cause a trade war where pretty much countries are just putting tariffs on each other. Now, once the uncertainty disappears, that doesn't mean everything's going to be good again, because it could get worse. The actuality of what's going to, you know, the actuality of the aftermath could be worse than what's causing the uncertainty. Because, you know, you could get something this week where you have pretty much just Trump against everyone else. So everyone's putting tariffs on the US, Trump's putting tariffs on everyone else. It could get a lot worse. And the aftermath of that is pretty much like an earthquake, and then the aftershock. You know, the aftershock's not fun, is it? So we just have to wait and see. Is silver Feb/March, or is that it? What do you mean, Malcolm? Yeah, February is generally bullish. Historically, it's bullish across the market. So Bitcoin, ETH, etc. It's typically bullish. February. That's what I mean. Could we just be putting the low of the month in early? I don't know. We'll have to see. But do make sure you drop a like on the stream, please. It would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, we'll just have to see, won't we? We'll have to see what happens. Who knows? Hello, my good friend. How we doing, Wiz? Watch list looking healthy. Mate, look at the state of it. Look at the state of it. You've got everything down in double figures. I mean, these are all large caps as well. They're getting absolutely twatted. This is what, you know what I was saying then, Wiz, was obviously we were discussing, you know, like the what obviously people are asking what's caused this, and then, you know, the silver lining really is that we put a swing failure pattern in on both these lows, you know, so we come and close the daily obviously above both of them, so pretty much there upwards, which wouldn't be awful then, because, you know, then maybe we've just done a liquidity sweep. But the fact that we're only down 3.5% on Bitcoin, and altcoins are looking like that, and we could go down another 6% and still be within the range. If this goes down towards 91 and this is repeated, that's a 30% pullback on a Where did the on an 11% dump on Bitcoin? It's absolutely crazy. In that something, I think we go down. There will be a shakeout in the market, and this will influence crypto. Well, this is what I was saying. You know, we do have to put the low of the month in at some point. Now, if February is going to be bullish, and this sort of tariff uncertainty and trade war ideology goes away, then it's entirely possible, you know, we're putting the low of the month in early, whether it be here, wherever, I don't know. What is a swing failure pattern? Literally where you just swing fail, a high or a low. So you'd swing fail it, so you go below and then close above. Nothing to do with me, that. Geeky.com, nothing to do with me. You're on a Stonksy channel now. I don't have anything to do with any of them coins or nothing. So you need to wait for Jordan to go live and ask him, or ask him on Twitter or something. Nothing to do with me at all. Sui is down 50% from its recent high. Yeah, it's absolutely chaotic, isn't it? If bull run is when memes go crazy AF, and it's already happened, and Soul Pump was the run, right? A lot of millionaires made and lost. No, don't know. You know, I don't know. I still favour that memes get a pump round too, because if we don't see any sort of altcoin rally at all, then even large caps like Link, Adder, and stuff like that. What do you think happens if Bitcoin goes down to 40k? These will literally be decimated. Like, you'd be talking Link below its 500-day range that it had previously. You'd be talking all of them at least doing another 90% retrace from here. The altcoin market would literally be like a barren land. They wouldn't survive. Not even the large caps wouldn't survive. So that at some point, I believe there has to be an altcoin run. Otherwise, they just won't have enough room to go down. Like, if there is no altcoin season, and that's the top in, then just use Link for an example. If Bitcoin then goes back down towards, like 40k, which it can easily do, then you're probably talking like something like Link going back to $1.48 easily. Now, that's not even like footing or anything, but it wouldn't be able to survive. Like, it wouldn't just get a 60-70% retrace there. You could pick anything. You want to pick Adder. Where would Adder go? If this is the top, then Adder's probably going all the way back down to like 3 cents. And that's like genuinely like the truth. They just wouldn't survive it. It would be impossible for them to hold up when everything is this weak against Bitcoin at the height of a supposed bull market. Evening, Dave. What are you having for dinner? I had some homemade wedges. So I made myself some wedges. I had two smash burgers that I made myself, and then I had a piece of salmon. What about you, mate? What are you having? And great to see you. How are you feeling about the market? Memes have barely got off the ground. Yeah, they've got some room to go. All below ICO price. Honestly, that's what I mean. That's why I don't think this is the top. Heavy on ETH, fair to say, don't buy the day, because it's not just like Bitcoin. Like, the whole industry would be crushed. There would be no industry. It would just be Bitcoin, which again, is probably what Bitcoin maxis are always talking about in it. But it's not an exaggeration to say that if the altcoin top is in and the cycle top is in for Bitcoin, there will be no industry come the depths of the next bear market. It will just be Bitcoin, because altcoins will be smashed to pieces that much. Wouldn't the Bitcoin maxis thought cashing out, put money into alt, giving them relief and small pump before it's done? Maybe, yeah, maybe. But you typically get that during, like, after, while sort of Bitcoin's topping. You normally get that while it's topping. and like when it's distributing. Now we've had the same range for 2 months now, so we would have already seen some sort of movement on that side. Is what I think. Is this manipulation or just fear? Just literally just fear. It's not even fear. It's just uncertainty. The markets don't like uncertainty, and what this is just uncertainty around what Trump is going to do. The markets don't know what Trump is going to do, so they don't. Obviously, like the front, it's just getting front run. Also, what you've got to bear in mind is, so for everyone who's watching, like just recently, who's just come in, all this here is basically, obviously, like the fear around the tariffs and the trade war. Now, what you've got to remember is traditional markets aren't open. The futures on ES and NQ, which is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures, they only open tonight in, what time is it? I think it's 10 or 11 o'clock UTC. So they haven't had the chance to sell off. Bitcoin has basically been the asset, and obviously crypto itself, to take the heat and obviously, be the first to think, what's going to happen here is, so if we get ES up, the S&P mini futures, what's going to happen is this is going to open somewhere. Oops. And what it's going to severely gap to the downside. So ES will open, and obviously no one knows exactly where, but it's entirely possible that it could open like all the way down here and just cause a massive gap. It could open lower. It could open down here. All depends on. It just all depends. We'll just have to watch the open. But I imagine it's probably going to cause a massive gap to the downside. Now, obviously, there's not been the chance for that to happen because they only open tonight, where Bitcoin is obviously a 24/7 asset alongside crypto. So we've been getting that selling because the market's open. Hype showing strength for its side. Yeah, Hype is one of the stronger altcoins for sure. Hello, Noel. Good evening to you, sir. Hi, what do you know about FTM changing to Sonic? Nothing really, apart from it's already happened. So I know very little about it, apart from it's already happened. It's getting flooded. Do make sure everyone drops a like on the stream and subscribe/follow if you're new. And obviously, if you're wondering what this indicator is, it is Stonksy. You can sign up to Stonksy with the second link in the description, which called the short beautifully from Saturday onwards. And if you are obviously looking to maybe try and long anything, do sign up to BLOFIN. That's the first link in the description. I'll put it in the chat as well. Best non-KYC exchange in the industry. So you just sign up with an email and it takes under a minute to sign up because you do not need to ID verify. What will happen to Trump coin? No idea, because there literally is no levels of support. There literally is no levels of support. It's pretty much down. This is obviously exchange listing. If we go over to here and we'll go on Dex Tools, not Dex Tools, Dex Screener. We'll try and find what we can, but I imagine there's probably not much. Come on. I am definitely a human. Let's go and have a look. There's nothing. There is no levels of support. There's nothing. I'm sorry, like there is literally nothing. Yeah. There's nothing. You don't know where this is going to settle. It's a pure gamble. If you're trying to long this now, there's nothing to go off. It is just a pure gamble. So what you want to see eventually, say for argument's sake, this is the bottom. What you want to see is it range between two levels, obviously a high and a low. Where obviously, if it comes down towards the lows, demand comes in to keep the price afloat, and then obviously in a range, what happens? It gets sold into at the highs. But you want to see it have a point where buyers are happy stepping in, and obviously people are looking to get out at the top. Now you need a base to form like this. Before then, you can look for expansion. Until this happens, look at Melania for example. Shocking, because there's nothing to suggest where it will settle. I can show you exactly what I mean. So if we go to Melania, this is a prime example of absolute dog shit. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. So we've discussed this on stream a lot. Now, obviously, Melania launched and has just sold off ever since. But if you look on the chart, you could have put together an argument that this was a base forming, because it was price consolidating. It was going from support to resistance consistently. And then what you want to see then after so long is price break resistance and then break out to the upside. However, it's not done that. It then broke again to the downside and has literally just been breaking to the downside ever since. So alongside Trump, there's nothing to suggest where this might stop. So I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. I do think that we're going to get a squeeze, though. I do think that we're going to get a squeeze on Bitcoin. But yeah, everyone do make sure that you sign up to BLOFIN. First link in the description, and it is in the chat as well. Ethereum support 2,700 to 2,800. Hi, Crypto Pappy. How you doing, mate? You okay? It didn't really look like a base performing on Melania's. There were lower highs. Yeah, but yeah, I was more so focusing on just where demand was coming into the price. So it was like, for as long as it was holding them lows, I was looking for it to form a base. Yeah, I wasn't really too bothered about that. As long as, because at the time, demand was coming in at the bottom. Get it up again. Where is it? Here. Where was it? Oops. Where was it? Here. Yeah, while they were lower highs, we were still getting demand, and then obviously break below. Yeah, there was lower highs, but it could have easily formed a base there. Because all you would have had to do is eradicate that, and then it would have been, okay, maybe this looks like the range then. But it didn't, so. I don't know. I do think we're going to get a squeeze on Bitcoin now. I think people that are trying to short this now, because what typically happens is that you get a move like this. So obviously we've tailed off massively. We had obviously the start of the move on Friday, dropping down from 105. But particularly this, because, you know, fear really starts to come into the market and stuff like that. You'll get people trying to chase it. So people who didn't short this, and then maybe they tried to long this, and then they've got took out, they'll then get to a point where they'll then get caught up in the panic and the fear, and they'll think, right, Bitcoin's going sub 90k, and they'll try and short the bottom. When you've missed the whole move, you don't try and short this here. The one thing you do not do is try and short this here. If you want to have a stab at a long, as long as you got your risk managed, you know, all good luck to you. You know, I suppose you could have a go if you want to. But the one thing you don't do is try, after we've got a move like this, is short, because you're leaving yourself open. This will get squeezed, whether it be now or at some point, and it will give a really hard squeeze, and it'll just take all them late shorters out. What's the next liquidity grab? Let's go and have a look. In terms of significant liquidity, like 101, but I mean that's a bit of a fair way up, isn't it? So really, obviously you can see it on the heat map here, but all you have to do is really go and look at the chart here, above here. So above like 99,500, I would say, is like prime for a liquidity grab. After that, yeah, but about 100,500. Just pretty much go up for where it's had the dead cat bounce and then rolled over, because that's where people are going to put the stops. if we're looking at the high time frame, well, say high time frame, the 3-day chart, there's a lot of liquidity at 1023. Pretty much 103k. But again, you know, that would pretty much reverse all this. But do not be surprised. Honestly, I'm telling you now, do not be surprised if we do reverse all this and all fears are put to bed tomorrow. Because basically, what Trump might be doing is he might just be playing a game of cat and mouse, and he just wants to see who'll bend over for him and who won't. But again, look at this, because this is going to be interesting. We are obviously, there's still a lot of time to go on a daily, but we could be putting in swing failure patterns in on these 2 wicks, which it'll be interesting for sure. Typically, swing failure patterns suggest that you're going to get relief to the side. So in this instance, we get a bounce to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we just completely reversed all that and we come back into this bit. This will be the challenge. This will be the real challenge. If we do get any sort of, you know, news from the White House or just overall market strength, but these areas are key for taking out. Obviously, if we come up into here, we'll take this out as well. But these are the areas we want to be watching for to be took out. But if we do come into here, this is going to be the battle, because this will be the place where it rolls back over. But above here is where all the liquidity is. There's massive liquidity up here. Above, pretty much just all this here. But this would be a challenging area for it for sure. I'm thinking about shorting. Good luck. It'll be an interesting live stream tomorrow. Yeah, it will be. Oh, it's going to be fascinating. And the best thing is we'll have Justin on as well. It's going to be legendary. What a stream tomorrow will be. It doesn't matter what I do, it's going to be wrong. We grab some nice liquidity at least. That's good, right? Not really, because just a grab of liquidity and then nothing else just suggests like a dead cat bounce, which of these have been. Yeah, you know, take some people out, drop. Take some people out, drop. We want to see like really like some strength in the market now. ETFs dump on New York Open. Depends what happens between now and tomorrow. It really depends on what happens between now and tomorrow. So we'll see how futures open tonight on the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. And it depends if we get any news out of the White House between now and tomorrow. Anything could happen. It's true, this is a Trump negotiation tactic. Yeah, it could be. Could just be seeing who's going to bend over for him and who's not going to be. But I wouldn't be trying to short this. Honestly, it's not financial advice, but just like as someone telling you how you try and time moves in the market, you do not try and short this here. The opportunity is gone. There is no risk reward trying to short this, not at least here. If we get back up to like 102, 103, maybe you could have a stab at it. But I think it's probably going to go for that liquidity up there if we get back up there. Yeah, the short's gone. I think so anyway. No, because right, so Bitcoin is already probably pricing in. Right. So you've got to think about it is that the people that lead the market and can move the market, they've already made the move. Right. So you need to think about like what would you do if you had the ability to move the market? Like I mentioned before, this has all occurred in the time when the stock market's not been open. So this is probably already positioning for a gap down on ES and NQ futures. So we obviously we could go lower, but this just doesn't happen out of nowhere. This is preparation for, okay, we're probably going to get a gap down tonight at open for the stock market on futures. So even if we do go lower, just basically off us gapping down, we won't go too much lower, in my opinion. This is most of the move has already happened, positioning Bitcoin for probably quite a significant gap to the downside. Now, US Open tomorrow is a different story. Not financial advice, but Stonksy's read on 1 hour. What would you look for in technicals to decide where to exit? Pretty much. Well, I suppose it depends where. Like, one, where if you think we're going to get a bounce or not, and two, are you seeing anything on the chart? Like I mentioned before, this looks like we've still got 4 hours to go, but this looks like potential swing failure pattern on both of these that might be forming. For me, then I would probably think, right, okay, we're probably going to get at least a bounce to the upside tomorrow. I suppose it just depends on what your overall feeling is. Justin will be great to explain it. Oh yeah, tomorrow's stream's going to be mega. You've took a long on solid $200. Good luck, Matt. All the best. Just make sure you manage your risk, mate. Just make sure you manage your risk. Make sure you've got your stop wherever you're willing to have it and stuff like that. And the best time to position yourself is when there's mass fear in the market, isn't there? So it's I hope that it comes off. Just might be short since I have a hedge against my longs. I suppose do what you want. I'm in a short from 101, but I have no idea when to take profit. I mean, that's a good short that you've got on there. I suppose you've got to decide for yourself. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. If it was me in that position, I would probably be. I'm not going to lie. I'd probably be closing, or at least be closing a decent portion of it. I think this is primed for a proper squeeze. I think this is primed for a proper squeeze. I'm not going to lie. But again, you could always leave a little bit open and just have your stop loss at break even, or like Wiz says, maybe a trailing stop, whatever you want. Check the Canadian dollar. Lowest it's been since 2003. Well, exactly, yeah, exactly. Trump might be just seeing who's going to bend over for him. And people will play right into his hands. People can't afford to go up against the US. There's only really like China, obviously, nation, pretty much like BRICS nations, but not all of them. The Saudis, China, Russia, really, they're the only people that can afford to go up against Trump. The rest of the people will lose, and Canada definitely will lose in a trade war with the US. Well, Trump won't be the one to buckle. That's the thing. So if it does drag on, we're pretty much just waiting for the other countries to buckle because Trump won't buckle. Stop loss is below entry and 33% profit taken. See, look what's happening here. Look what's happening. We're getting the squeeze that we talked about. And these two lines here are them two lows on the daily. I'm telling you, right, I'm not being funny, right, but sometimes you need to sort of just zoom out and have a look. If we close a daily above these 2 wicks, I don't think it's all as bad as it looks. I honestly don't. Because, like I mentioned before, you have to put the low of the month in somewhere. And if February is going to be bullish, who's to say that we can't put the low of the month in early? Of course we can. It's only the 2nd of February. We could go lower. Obviously, if we have a really bad day on the stock market tomorrow, we could go down to 95. We could go down to 94. God help us if we go down to 91. But if we're going to have a bullish month, you have to put the low of the month in somewhere. So maybe we're just getting the pain out the way early. But this is right. This is doing the squeeze that we talked about. Alexandra says, thank you for all the info. I learned so much. Well, make sure to tune into the streams every day. If this is your first stream, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, or if you're watching on X, drop a follow. And I do stream, 2 to 3 hours a day, every single day, Monday to Friday. And I do go live every Sunday night for an hour as well. But as you can see here, These are all my streams from in the week, and these are all Monday to Friday. So yeah, I always stream as well. So we cover US Open and we cover any data releases. So like NFP, CPI, PPI, whatever it is, always live as well for data releases, and US Open. So yeah, make sure you come back to the streams every day. And I do have guests on regularly as well. I've got guest on tomorrow, Justin again, good friend of mine. And then we do have Save with Crypto on. He's got his own channel and stuff if you want to search for him. He's on every Wednesday. And then Wiz in the chat, this guy here, he's started coming on quite frequently as well. Wiz is going to come on again this week. So yeah, it's a good time. The thing is, Trump has been talking about tariffs and trade deals since the 80s. He's a very smart man. Tim Hortons is going to be smashed up by the market tomorrow. Yeah, go and find your nearest Tim Hortons and throw a brick for it. That's a joke, by the way. Don't do that. I think the market is so cooked they will dump more. Maybe. Canadian oil stocks may be good play if we dump. Your stream is good, mate. Not the hyperactive promo talkers. Well, the thing is, people just want to know why the market is moving in a specific direction, don't they? And where we might go either way. And it's not really that hard to really show that. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty easy. Like I mentioned before, low time frame, we're looking at these bounces as liquidity areas. This bounce, but then we come back into this consolidation block. So, here. And it's as simple as that. If we go lower, we're probably then starting to move towards the range low then, aren't we? But we're getting a strong bounce here, which is good because altcoins really need it. Let's go and have a look at memes. Where are memes? It's not even... See, this is what I mean. A tiny bounce. Look at the difference in memes. Some of them are even green now. Popcat's green. FWOG's green. There's a couple of others. Not this piece of shit house. This piece of shit green. But there's plenty that are even green. WIF's pretty held up quite well on it around its dollar. A lot of them haven't really even dumped that much today. A lot of them have held quite well. But it doesn't really take much of a Bitcoin, because if you notice, it didn't take much of a Bitcoin drop to really tank altcoins. Now, it doesn't really take much of a Bitcoin reversal to pump them back up. If we pump back up towards these levels, all these moves will be reversed tomorrow, and we'll have a really green day, even if we just go back up towards here. But if you are looking for any, if you're looking to take any trades anywhere or whatever, make sure you click the first link in the description, or click the link in the chat. I've just put it in there, the BLOFIN link. It's the best non-KYC exchange. So, yeah, BLOFIN. Non-KYC, so you just sign up with an email. You can sign up in under a minute. And you can trade anything across the market. So do your spot trading, your future trading, whatever. But it is by far the best exchange for you to use. So do make sure you click that and sign up. You get some nice welcome bonuses as well when you use the Stonksy link. So yeah, all of you that aren't on BLOFIN, do click that link if you're looking to trade anything. And yeah, make sure you come back to the streams this week, because we'll be looking at loads of, given the volatility we've got, we'll have loads of, we'll be looking at loads of setups this week. Your stream is good, mate. Not, oh yeah, that was you. How much you earn per day? That's a very personal question, isn't it? Yes, you are. I do appreciate your comment, but I'm not going to answer that. Great stream, first time. Yes, Chris. Well, thank you for coming, mate. Do make sure you drop a sub. It'd be great to welcome you back every day. Like I said before, I'm live for a couple of hours, Monday to Friday, every day, covering the US Open and data releases. And then, yeah, do go live on a Sunday night for an hour just to look at the whole week price action, which obviously we've got this big drop, haven't we, today. Random thought, would be great if SMFC joined for 20 minutes each Friday to give an informal update. Yeah, well, to be honest, that did cross my mind, Math, because what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to get him on every single time there's a Stonksy update. I'm just going to get him on, and he can just obviously just give the best. For those of you that don't know, SMFC is the dev that does all the Stonksy work. Those of you obviously in the Discord will know that. But yeah, when you do sign up to Stonksy as well, you get full indicator access, but you also get Discord access, and he has been working very, very hard on the release of the trading bot. So you will get full access to the bot as well, and that's all free. So once you get Stonksy, you get all updates, you get Discord access, and you will get access to the trading bot, which hopefully is coming this week, all for free. But yeah, I'm just going to get him on the stream. When the next update is, obviously the bot's separate. The bot will be easy for everyone to set up. But when we have an actual another indicator update, I'm just going to get him on, and then I can just clip it up. Then I can just clip the stream and put it up on YouTube as a video and say, right, here's your next video update. Happy says, hi, hello to you, Happy, thank you. Dave, when are you having a funeral for Sundog? Oh, mate, I haven't checked that. What's it done? Wiz, I got absolutely cooked on that compound long. You know, I forgot that I had it open. Shall I show you it? Shall I show everyone my compound long from Friday? I got absolutely cooked on it, you know. It's took a massive dent off the streaming account, like a big dent. I'm going to have to work hard this week to try and get it back. Sundog, where is it? Oh my God, yeah. The thing is with this is like Melania, innit, and Trump. If you go on to Deck Screener, there is literally no levels of support. Like this is MEXC, but even when you go onto Deck Screener, it pretty much looks the same, apart from it might have one more candle or something. There is literally no bottom. That's shocking, isn't it? That's really bad. Doge, not looking the best, is it? But it's not looking terrible. The thing is, when we have something like this, now Doge has to come and regain this level of support on the daily. So we've dropped out, but now we have to recapture this level, which isn't going to be easy. Or we come back down and either test this level, or you can see Stonksy. So it automatically plots out SR lines. We maybe come back down towards there, maybe, and front run it a little bit. But we could do with a really strong close. We could do with some momentum really coming into the market. But look, here we go. So we've now, at the moment, we would be putting in a full swing failure pattern on this low and this low, which actually wouldn't be then too bad. As you can see, we might even get... Do you know what? Honestly, I'm not joking. With another 4 hours, it's actually possible that the daily could close green. It's actually possible. It is possible. We need some strength in the market. Like we need some, we'd really need it to squeeze. But the daily open was, where was the daily open? So the daily open was here, 100,600. The daily actually could close green. It's going to take a big effort by bulls. But there's the daily open. We could actually maybe close green. I don't know. Maybe. It'd be pretty wild if that happened. Like, he seems to reverse slightly. Yeah, well, Bitcoin. That's what I said before. You know, altcoins are so sensitive to Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin's going to give them a nice, for sure. Brother Death going to be tuning in. Yes, Chris, love that. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. But yeah, it is actually possible that maybe the daily does close green. Like stranger things have happened, and with another 4 hours to go, we've got another 4 hourly candles to come. It could happen. It will take a big effort by buyers, but it's possible. But even still, even if we don't close green, even if we come up and close up here or something, that's still good absorption. Like it's pretty much just creating another candle like this, isn't it? That's all we do is get a candle like this, a candle like this. If we do come up and say we close the daily at, for argument's sake, at 100k, then all we do is create another long tail bottom wick. That's all we do. We just create another long lower wick, and I'd say tomorrow then minus on potentially what we might get and stuff like that. It might actually set us up for a good reversal day. Just depends, obviously, what's going to happen in the rest of the markets, doesn't it? But it's never as bad as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. It's always just to calm down, just chill out. There's a heck of a lot of liquidity at 2,500 we don't want that. The lowest we'd want it to go is like 2,700. 2,700 to 2,800 would be a good buy zone for ETH. If we go down to 2,500, it's in some real trouble. I'm not going to lie. How would you re-enter at this point, in strength or just further drop down? What for? A long. I wouldn't be trying to guess this now. Unless you're already in a position in profit, I wouldn't be trying to guess this now. We'd need to see what how ES and NQ open in a couple of hours. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq futures. We'll need to see how they open, because they're more than likely probably going to gap down quite significantly, which might cause another shake up on Bitcoin and stuff like that. There's just, in my opinion, there's no point trying to second guess it. We'll just see what we get. If you are, if you're long down here, then you're all right. You could take profit, you could set your stop loss to break even, whatever. But at the moment, you might just sort of get yourself caught in the crossfire if we do have any more sort of turmoil. So yeah, it's up to you though. Completely up to you. Stop loss tight if you do. Yeah, it's risky. It's risky for sure. But yeah, big thank you to everyone who joined tonight. Really appreciate it. Like I said before, Monday to Friday, stream for a long time. You can go and have a look on the YouTube channel. 2 to 3 hours, all through data releases, if we have any that day, and US Open every day, covering the market. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, because I've got a good friend of mine on who's absolutely exceptional at reading the market and PA. So it'll be good to obviously analyse to see what he thinks is happening next for the market and where we might go. And yeah, big thank you. So do make sure you check the links in the description as well. Sign up to BLOFIN if you're not. The best non-KYC exchange in the industry. And if you want to come and join Stonksy, the indicator, obviously, I would love to see you in the Discord. You get full indicator access, Discord access, all updates for free, and you will get the trading bot as well when that's released, hopefully this week. So yeah, hopefully see you over at Stonksy as well. But yeah, big thank you. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for tomorrow's stream, 12:30 UTC. Should be a fun one. Obviously covering whatever's happened. We'll cover obviously today's PA again, but most importantly, what's happened between now and then, and US Open tomorrow as well. So it should be a really good stream. Enjoy the rest of your evening or afternoon or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.